Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
And I'm Coach Jay.
Back with another film breakdown. Today we're going to take a look at four-star corner Kai Bates out of Orlando, Florida. You can see the profile there on the screen. Top 10 player, top 11 player, depending on where you look. It's up and down. You can go to ESPN, On3, whatever, wherever you get your recruiting information. You go look. But the bottom line is one of the top 15 corners in the country. And I think, man, you look the last couple of years, Coach, where this coaching staff is going with corners particularly. Safeties too, but corners, Christian Conyer, Ricky Gibson, Jordan Matthews, Caleb Beasley, number one player in the state of Tennessee. If you can go get Kai Bates and pair him up with Caleb Beasley, you got some legitimate corners that are coming up in this program.
Heck yeah, you do. Very legitimate corners. I mean, the coaching staff has heard our cry for help in the secondary and are certainly, doing their best to fill that. Kai is certainly cut from that same high caliber cloth that Ricky Conyer and Matthews are cut from. Really fast, elite feet. Really good at digesting what the quarterback wants to do, not biting on easy feints, and just an overall smart football player. I really like this kid. I think he's got a lot of moxie.
Took several official visits throughout the summer. He was on campus at Tennessee, Florida State, Alabama, and LSU. Took an unofficial visit in the middle of that to Ohio State, which is interesting. The thing for me is he took the official to Tennessee on June the 16th. Came out of that visit with, man, the highest of highs. You know how these kids get, the emotional up and downs coming off of visits. Here's a quote that I love, and we can kind of digest this. It says, "It definitely gave me a better view of Tennessee. Josh Heupel is one of my favorite head coaches I have ever talked to." Said he came from UCF, which is right in my hometown. He took time out of his day to really interact with us and talk to us. There's also a lot of resources from position coaches to people who don't have anything to do with football. They look out for you mentally and physically when life kicks in. They look out for you. Now, coming out of the visit, again, ended up at LSU the next weekend. And the interesting thing here, what I want to touch on, and it's something that we've talked about before, whether it be a film breakdown. I know you and I have had this conversation. The different dynamics of these coaching staffs. He comes off the official from Tennessee, and he's like, these guys are about more than football. Talking about people that have nothing to do with football that are there for you, to support you outside of the game. And then he goes to LSU on the official. And everybody's really saying Tennessee just needs to hold off LSU. If he doesn't commit that weekend on campus in Baton Rouge, Tennessee is going to be in a really good spot. The rumor is, inside news that I don't get, I just read, is that LSU kind of tried to strong arm him, right? Strong arm him into a decision, and he held off. It's going to be a late July, early August decision. Talk about those coaching staff, the two different approaches to recruiting a kid.
Yeah, I think you got those kids, the coaching staffs who tried to front load and really press these kids. LSU certainly comes to mind. The staff did that when they were at Notre Dame as well. Certainly, it's kind of that Clemson model, right? Like jump them quick, make them commit. Uh, Really put the old boiler room ABC always be closing sales model on these kids, right? Tighten the screws and get them in the boat early. Know what you're working with. Maybe leave a space or two open in the class for evaluation, but certainly we've talked about it before, Boogie. It's certainly a polar opposite of what Heupel and them want to do. They want to kind of create more of that I don't want to say laid back. Laid back might be the wrong word for it, but just that more kind of like, hey, we are who we are and we're comfortable in our own skin type attitude. If you want to be here, man, you could really help us. We can do amazing things for you, but we're not going to twist your arm, and we don't want you if you're not the right fit for this team. And I love that. I think it shows up on the field. You talk to any of these old players who have already gone through in these 2 years or even before at Missouri, or have played for Heupel at UCF, they all kind of say the same thing, which is, man, I love playing for Hype. I would do anything for that guy. I would lay down and die for Coach Heupel if he asked me to. And man, you're going to play hard for a coach like that. It's exciting stuff.
You guys know the deal. This is the film breakdown, the spill on the channel for the fans, by the fans, not experts, not insiders, but Coach Jay coaches a little football out in California. He comes on and breaks down the film. So we're going to take a look at a few plays from Kai Bates and kind of deep dive into it. And talk about it. It's one of my favorite things. I know a lot of you guys dig it, but help us out of the gate. Smash the thumbs up just below the video. Quick, free, and easy. Helps the channel. You don't got to do nothing but hit that thumbs up. You want to do a little bit more, hit that join button. You can become a member of the channel. Look, here's the funny thing. Coach Jay works harder than anybody else on this channel. And he joined the channel and came on a fan call-in show. You guys fell in love with him, and now I put him to work every single day. Every day I'm texting Coach Jay saying, hey, you're going to do this for the channel. You're going to do that for the channel. So that's what happens. Hit that join button. You get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits, and you keep the lights on around here. You give me the opportunity to do this thing full-time. Could not do it without the members of the channel, so we appreciate that support. But let's jump into it. Let's take a look at the film from Kai Bates. Let me get it up here. Let me change the layout, get us where we want to be. Boom, there we go. Looking official. Here we go. Play number one right out of the gate.
Yeah, absolutely. We got twins to the top side of the screen. Deuce, when you got kind of that twin or deuces look, you're probably going to get a variation look from your cornerbacks, and we see that here, right? We see the weak side cornerback number 24 at the bottom of your screen, kind of playing that inside off coverage right there, and then we got Kai playing, more of a straight up 5-6 yards back from that right there. And when Boogie does let this go in a second or two, I want you guys just to notice Kai's game of altogether. It's just easy. It's almost like those little things that people struggle with, like even backpedaling. Backpedaling is hard, guys. Like, it is not easy to backpedal smooth, easy, efficiently, economically. And Kai just makes that look so simple. I really do want you guys to hone in on his feet all throughout this film today, because he certainly makes things look a lot easier than they are, and that's something to get excited about here. We got, looks like about 2nd and 10, and we're going to get a post from this wide receiver here. So Boogie, when you let this play, if you could just let it play through that back pedal about to the point where Kai Bates opens up his hips, and we can talk about what we got going on here. Just nice little short back pedal, opens up his hips, just really short, efficiently. And if you look at his eyes right here, he's spying that underneath route, right? He sees that he's got something running underneath. He sees that he's got his drag. He sees that he's got his safety help. He's watching that, maybe taking a little peek at that quarterback, as we all do. We want to teach a little better eye discipline when we get to the next level, but in high school, we can certainly get away with a little bit longer of a peek, which we're getting here from Kai Bates. And Boogie, just let it go, maybe a tick or two more, just maybe a tick or two. Nice open step, and he just follows him so quickly. And when you're backpedaling and open your hips or pin and wheeling, you all notice almost 100% of the time the receiver either catches up to the cornerback or DB, or they run even with him, or they begin to pass him. Well, we don't even see that out of Kai, and you almost never do, because he's just such an efficient backpedaler. And Boogie, go ahead and let this play and watch him turn his hips and just defeat this post with fluidity. It's a play that looks simple and easy, but he just executes it so well and efficiently. He almost defeats it before the ball is thrown, which is kind of the opening steps to becoming a lockdown corner at the next level. You want to say, hey, Coach Jay, what makes you a lockdown corner? Being really efficient with your footwork makes you a lockdown corner. Certainly getting in position to make a play fits that bill as well.
All right, moving on. Play number two, top of the screen.
Yep, absolutely. We got deuces again, a little bit tighter in right here. We're going to get the old stop and go route, right? So we saw the post, kind of a deep threat with this same team. This time we got a deuces look. They're playing press on the weak side of the screen, but I would say they're just playing man up a little tighter on the strong side of the screen here, on the short side of the screen where Cap Kai is. We almost got that 4-3 look, Boogie, but it's an
Mm.
extended out 3-3-5. You'll get it a little later in the film. Once again, 2nd and 10. So it looks like the same team is going to try something a little different. Maybe try to get Kai to break on that underneath route. And Boogie, if you want to go ahead and just run this till about, let's say the 28-29 second mark, right in there. We can watch him. Same efficient little back pedal, eyes watching inside. And then, yeah, there you go, right there. Look, he's opened up underneath. And what he's done is he's peering at that underneath route and through him to the quarterback. And what he's doing here is what we like to call calling BS, right? He's called BS on this. He's recognized the fake. Okay, these plays aren't going to develop underneath. Look at the quarterback. He has made no attempt to throw this ball right now. His hands aren't cocked back. They're in a relaxed up front position, right? This is just a fade at this point. A good pump fake right here on a stop and go goes a long way, but this quarterback has delayed that, or is he's late with it, even worse. So even though Kai has stopped his backward motion for a second, he's kind of sitting the car in neutral, as we'll call it, right? Bounce step could serve him well right here, but sitting the car in neutral. So when he does bust either a stop and go, or maybe he could come back to the quarterback on a busted play, but he's going to run that stop and go. Kai recognized it so quick that he's going to backpedal. Boogie, maybe let a tick or two run off. Let him open his hips up. See if we can watch just how efficiently he pops. Look, pops neutral, opens those hips, and once again, guys, look where he is. He's just beaten that wide receiver. This play is over right now. That play is defeated with what? With IQ, with footwork. Look, just beating him to his spot every single time. Go ahead and let it go, Boogie. Let's see what we get out of it. Just strong back pedal, totally sniffs out the play. It's just, once again, guys, if there's one theme I want you to take away from this Kai Bates film, is how easily he plays the game. It just blows my mind. He might not blow you away with speed, even though he's fast, uh, but a high football IQ. He plays a lot of wide receiver as well. I was tempted to show you some in his film because he does it so well, and he's got a high route running IQ as well as a wide receiver, and it's serving him well at the cornerback position because he's defeating these plays before they get started.
You know, it's interesting that you brought that up, the football IQ, because that's kind of where I was going to go next in between these plays right here. Because, like you said, plays wide receiver too. He didn't start playing corner until midway through his
Mm,
junior season. This is straight
okay,
straight from
yeah.
247 Sports. Their scouting report of him talks about that he got thrown
Mm,
into action at corner midway through the junior year. Says here, found success right away in coverage, had 4 interceptions and 7 pass breakups in just 2 games.
wow.
His first 2 games playing corner. And look, high school, where I went to high school, it's like, well, the studs played quarterback and they played free safety. The guys that were linebackers played fullback, right? The game's different now. Like, how much is it for a guy like Kai Bates midway through your junior year? They say, hey, you're going to play corner now. How much does he focus on that position of corner, knowing if he ends up at Tennessee, LSU, wherever he decides to go play college football, that's the focal point? Will he continue to just play wide receiver? I know kids continue to play both sides of the ball, but what's his focus point moving forward?
Yeah, I think he's going to be spending more time at that position, no doubt. When the team breaks into endos, at least when we would break into endos, you always have that small group that cuts away and only does their true position for the majority of the time. Like they might spend a small amount of the allotment with the offense, and they might run some plays, and they might be in a program where hey, it's needed. We need all hands on deck on offense. We need you playing wide receiver to score, but we understand where you're trying to get to. We understand where your strength is, and we're going to give you that extra time during endos. And so I might keep you for 7 minutes during the period, but then you might break off and work back pedaling or whatever you may have you in your individual drills. But admittedly, I didn't get to read the scouting report on Kai Bates before this, so it's really nice to hear that some of these thoughts I was having are confirmed. And I don't know where he learned to backpedal like that in only a year or 2 years, but I'll hire that defensive coordinator running that drill any day of the week, Boogie. He can backpedal, man. He that's a textbook backpedal out of Kai Bates.
Looks like a rough night at the office for me on NCAA when the defenders are running 2 steps ahead of me on my route. That there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. Like you said, when he opens his hips, he's running the route. The wide receiver has no shot. He's running the route to the football. All right, let's jump back into it. We are at the midway point. We are at 51 seconds.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, we got deuces, both sides of the field. I know all us Tennessee fans are perked up whenever we see this stack formation, right? So on the wide side of the field that Deuce is on playing press, we have the X wide receiver in front of the A wide receiver, and then on the bottom of the screen we have the Z wide receiver stacked in front of the Y wide receiver. So, right here is a defensive coordinator or is a middle linebacker, is a Mike, is a free safety. I'm yelling horse pucky as loud as I can at this play, right? Usually you'll get this in tight stack to the weak or strong side, and then you'll get the other one to the other side of the hash mark. And the fact that they're not both stacked inside, you've kind of got this in between stack to the left side right now, just screams that they want to go to corner fade or flat, right? It's just absolutely screaming it. And, this coaching staff would have been really, really smart right here to leak out the running back and send them on a little angle in or slant from out of the backfield. And, it's exactly what you're going to get right here is you're going to get that X wide receiver that's over Kai on the corner fade, and you're going to get that A wide receiver that's behind him on a flat. They're just going to gun fade inside and then pop to outside. So uh, I never want to call play design stupid, but I'm not seeing this one from the coaching staff. And if we want to go ahead and just pause play this really quick, we'll take a look at this press that we have. Maybe just get that in step to out step from the wide receivers. Boogie, we can talk about what we're seeing here from these kids. Yeah, see, he's popped out. And look how wide of a base Kai Bates has right now. Look, just perfectly wide base. He can take a 45 step degree angle forward. He can take it angled towards the back pylon, which is the correct angle, and the angle he's going to take. And when he does take that outward step with his right leg and turns his right hip opened, um, I think he's going to be surprised by the wide receiver's flat route that he runs instead of the true corner fade. And he actually stumbles and then corrects his angle. Usually when you stumble in tight on a corner fade like this, it's a death sentence, guys. It is a flat out death sentence. It's 6 points. The other team's celebrating. Coach Jay is in your ear hole on the sideline, asking you what the heck you were doing. Boogie, go ahead and see if we can play this. Watch him stumble out of that hip pull, recover, change his angle since it's flat, and cover this ball. Just a great job by Kai Bates. Stumbles out, corrects his angle in, and an extremely athletic recovery from Kai Bates. He makes up that short little burst very quickly too. So I like a cornerback that's short and short, fast steps through small spaces. Right? We want short, fast steps through small spaces when we're a cornerback. So very well done. Moving right along here, though, we got uh, twins to the bottom of the screen. We got a single wing formation up to the other side of the screen. We got press coverage right here. And what we're going to look at right here is just a straight slant play against this 4-2-5 with a one high look. So Boogie, just give us that old play pause again really quick. And once again, guys, just the footwork, the wide base, the wide angled base, with Kai over this Z wide receiver. So go ahead and just run it off, maybe a second, readjust. Look at that wide base and those gather steps into the wide base. His hips are with him. He can see through his inside shoulder, right? So he can see two different things. In his peripheral, he can see that his helper to the inside is covering the S slot wide receiver that's faded out, right? He can see that no backs lead it out of the backfield. His hips are inside, so he can follow him outside if he needs to, or he can gather on the slant inside. Go ahead and take it just a second or two, Boogie. Let's just kind of slowly follow him. Gather step, gather step. Now, what I like that this wide receiver is about to do is change speeds on Kai Bates, right? You've heard us talk about in the Braylon Staley video how dangerous it can be when a wide receiver changes gears on you, and that's what's going on right here. This receiver sees him gathering. He's got some wheels. He's going to change gears on him, puts that extra gear on, and guys, he beats him on this slant. He straight out beats Kai, but Boogie, let it go and see how Kai deals with getting beat on this slant. Gets beat, and then the layout, the dive, just manages to get a finger on it, right? It's those little things, man. I know it's cliche, but we play a game of inches in football. We play for those small, quick steps. Elite hits, makes it up, just gets that little hand in, makes him throw through a hard window of the wall off from the center line. Uh, Small stuff, brilliant stuff from Kai Bates.
What I like seeing too is the length. That's something that's in the scouting report as well.
Yes.
Really long
Yeah.
kid, which is something that Willie Martinez is after. They're looking for length in these corners. You mentioned Braylon Staley. Shout out to Braylon for winning the state championship 200 meters.
Oh.
And he closed the game. It's so funny because I got to get derailed here when you mentioned the back end speed of Braylon Staley, because he, like, the last 20 meters is when Staley really put it on him and won that state championship. So shout out to him. His dad tagged us up and wanted us to see it on Twitter. It's awesome. Good kid. Go back and watch the film breakdown on him. Go back and watch his commitment video. I had a chance to sit down and talk to him for 5 or 6 minutes. Really, really good stuff. Got one more play to look at here on 4-star corner Kai Bates.
Yeah, sure. We got trips to the top of the screen. Kind of a weird spot for the wide receiver on the opposite bottom side of the screen, but we've got it's a 3-5 with the Leo down on the line there on the top side of the field. We've got Kai playing a little bit off the ball again, right? So it's a common theme from him. Once again, just really nice, even base, showing cornerbacks how to stand out there. We got 1st and 10 right here. Same team we've seen before, so they've been trying to keep fooling them with this underneath, this freeze. Boogie, go ahead and let a tick or two of this go, just a tick or two though. All right, once again, just back, beautiful back pedals out of him. And Boogie, maybe just a second or two more, just a little bit underneath. Okay, perfect. His receiver is actually going to stop. And once again, if we look at his eyes, he's watching that underneath route. He's got his wide receiver in front of him, just like the play before on the stop and go, right? Almost mirror image from him. Except this time his wide receiver, his Z wide receiver, is actually going to stop, right? But if you look how open the quarterback is, and you look at the way this play is developing underneath, it's a safety valve route. But maybe just a second or two more, and we'll get what I'm kind of looking for out of here that I want to show you. Yeah, see when he pops right there, his wide receiver, that Z wide receiver, has stopped for the comeback route. Now look at Kai's eyes. He's looking back at the quarterback. Is the quarterback throwing that underneath, or is he throwing the slot wide receiver deep route to that post seam on the inside of it? Well, he's throwing that post seam. The quarterback wouldn't be in that position. A lot of cornerbacks right here would say, okay, my wide receiver has come on a comeback route. I need to stop what I'm doing and come back to that wide receiver. Kai already knows these routes. He already knows these route transitions, like we've talked about earlier, right? He knows that slot wide receiver is going to continue on. So what does he do? He just stays with him. Boogie, go ahead and let it play. It's just he makes it look easy. I know I'm beating a dead drum. He didn't even consider it, man. He just knew the damn play and broke it up. It was that easy. I can't tell you how hard this is, Wall family. Like, I can't. Like, when that wide receiver drags off and stops in front of you, your mind just says, oh crap, it's a comeback. I'm coming back to the ball. He knew that. He already knew it. He already had it read before that even happened. It's just absolute 10 out of 10 football IQ out of Kai Bates. Now, I will tell you, what I didn't see out of Kai was a good jam at the line at any point during his video. I also didn't see any kind of run support plays throughout the video. So those two things I would say remains to be seen, but really high level IQ. Reminds me of Allen, who played for the Vols back in the day, who went on to play for Miami at the cornerback position. Very similar football IQ from that cornerback position from Allen.
It's interesting because I'm slow and it takes me a while to put things together. But you said the same team a few times there. We got to keep in mind, you didn't see him jam at the line. We didn't get to see that. Got thrust into the position midway through his junior year. So it's going to be exciting to watch Kai Bates develop. And that's something that we've talked about in recruiting with this coaching staff, is being ahead of the game and being on top of kids before other people. Now, look, he visited Ohio State, Florida State, Alabama. This kid's got all the offers he could possibly want, but it's going to be exciting to watch his senior season and see how much he bumps up. Right now, top 20, top 10, top 15 corner. Is he a top 5 corner when it's all said and done? He's got a decision coming, probably going to be late July, maybe early August. We will keep you guys up to date. We will keep covering it. Maybe if he makes that live decision, we will do a live stream for that. You guys know the deal. Smash the thumbs up, hit the comment section. Let us know what you think about Kai Bates. Also, let us know. We've been doing these head-to-head film breakdown streams. I don't think we did one for July. If we did, it was very, very early. But let us know if you want us to do one more. Look, this series will probably go on hold when football season starts, because we're streaming, we're covering, we're talking about the actual games going on, but we will bring it back. Don't worry, it's not going anywhere. If you want one last one, if you've got the idea of all ideas, drop in the comment section and let us know. But that's going to do it for this one. 5 plays, 30 minutes. I told you, Coach, we would never get it done. But I know you guys dig this series. So, but that's going to do it for this one. He's Coach Jay. I'm Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.